So for a lot of the assignments that the students complete in these courses, there are multiple drafts that they will complete. And they know that process and they become familiar with it because it follows them from year to year through their professional practice classes. And so they're well introduced to it and it becomes normal for them. So when students are completing multiple drafts, every time they're doing a draft and getting feedback, that's a stop point in the project where they're taking a pause, reflecting on what they've learned, how is the process going, and is the project moving in the direction that they want it to. So they're reflecting on their learning at those times. They're also learning how to provide feedback, how to receive feedback, and that is important to their learning as well.
So the activity that we had students working on in our Indigenous Cultural Contextualization of Engineering course was doing research on case studies in Indigenous communities. And that was not the first activity like that they have done. Even within the class, they've already done group research projects on Indigenous technology and design. And so they've had experience working both within the groups that they're assigned to work in and doing similar research projects. So we give them multiple opportunities to do the work, receive feedback, and then hopefully do better and better throughout the term. So it actually leads to much better performance later in the term than earlier in the term. So doing it one time and expecting students to be able to grab that, it's a skill set like any other. It needs to be nurtured and developed. When students have the opportunity to review each other's work and provide feedback, it actually provides several different benefits. If they are working on a project where one student or one group of students is working on one topic or one case study and another group is working on a different case study, they're going to be a bit of an expert in their own case study, but they also get a bunch of the factual information about a whole other case study. So what they're exposed to actually starts to grow exponentially as they review each other's work. But also they get to see the work that their peers are doing and the way that they're approaching things. And if they're answering the same questions about different topics, they can't cut and paste those answers, but they can see how their peers are approaching things. And sometimes your peers are going to be doing something a little better than you are. You can borrow from that, take inspiration. At the same time, maybe you've tackled a subject in a way that your peers have failed to. You can provide feedback and you feel good about that. It helps to build confidence. And at the same time, what we see when these submissions go through rounds of peer review or peer assessment before they come in, as instructors, we get better work submitted. And we don't have to even provide as much feedback because they've already gotten it from their peers. One thing that has really helped with that is we provide rubrics for the students ahead of time on all the learning outcomes that are being assessed on this work. So we encourage them to have that rubric in front of them when the other group is presenting their work or they're reading the students' work, so they can provide feedback that's really on point with what we would provide when it's submitted.